on cue, our Run Pure team is on a major heater. Following the big hits from last week, our guys crushed yet again, proving why our team is the best in the industry.
BigT led the way, winning over $167K on FanDuel and DraftKings MLB. Dunkel crushed NASCAR with a $100K shipper this weekend. Our Sunday NASCAR team crushes weekly, so subscribe to our YouTube channel today and set your alerts so you don't miss JJ, Keg, and Coop weekly on our free shows. Hoop added to the heater, shipping for $100K on MLB. You can catch Hoop regularly on our daily Swing for the Fences show on YouTube for his rich parents' plays.
Our guys have not been the only ones winning during this heater. Our members benefit from our premium content, including core plays in all major sports. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for?
Once again, our NBA Showdown show led to a member print fest with RPS logos dominating the leaderboards. Just Your Daddy turned $26 into $5K. JRex777 won $6,600 and T-Robber6 shipped for over $20K. Finally, NFL Best Ball is in full swing over on Underdog, and you can get a deposit match up to $100 by using the promo code RUNPURE.
That is it for this week, guys. Make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel to check out our Best Ball content, as Simon and Snyder were joined by Josh Larkey this past week to jump into a Best Ball Mania draft. Until next time, keep running pure.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Swing for the Fences crew, joined by AP, Gary, talking this nice 8-game slate. Man, pitching is absolutely loaded today. I'm very excited to see who these two are targeting. Bats, on the other hand, it looks like two clear spots. Boston with the high implied total, the Angels with the good implied total. Outside of that, I think the ownership's going to be pretty spread out. So pretty good slate. Big prize pools as always. Excited to dive into it. Gary, I'll throw it over to you first. How was your weekend? How do you spend Father's Day yesterday? Anything going on in your world? Talk about this baseball slate a little bit.
Yeah, yesterday was good. Nothing crazy. Just relax a little bit. Watched some of that U.S. Open yesterday. That was fantastic down the stretch there. But yeah, excited for this slate. Lots of pitching today. Not going to overthink the pitching today. I think that's the name of the game today.
I like it. Yeah, there's always plenty of bats. 16 teams, 8 games. You can always get a little different with bats. Bottom of the order we always talk about. So I like that. AP, throw it over to you. How was your Father's Day? Have you been on the golf course recently? Snyder, has he been stroking Morikawa? I know his boy had a pretty good outing. Talk about this baseball slate a little bit too. What's going on over there?
Yeah, Morikawa came through on Sunday for Snyder. No, a little golf yesterday. Just was on the couch all day, caught a cold, and just kind of took it out of me. But honestly, we were talking before the show. It was kind of perfect because I got out of some Father's Day, things that were going on. Got to watch the U.S. Open all afternoon on the couch. I mean, it was just a phenomenal Open. Ended up breaking even too. Can't complain about that because I thought I was absolutely dead because two of my higher owned guys were out of it. But Fitzy came through and he was someone I was way over on. I mean, it was just an incredible finish. So many just awesome shots. Still, they need to fix the coverage on there. Like they missed so many just key moments. It was just crazy. It baffles me how they continue to do this. Like they need a better strategy going in as far as like showing these shots. I mean, it's just absolutely insane, but it was a ton of fun, good weekend. And we got a fun slate tonight too.
Yeah, absolutely. Golf is always good. We got golf this week. Golf's on pretty much every week. Always big prize pools, whether it's a major, whether it's not. So content's always rolling. NASCAR we got going on, MMA, you name it. We got over CSGO, League of Legends. So one price, we always talk about it. If you want to be a member and you're not, RPS Heater 25 gets you 25% off at over at Run Pure Sports. Got some familiar faces in chat. We got Nadesify, Junior, Squid, Michael Spriggs, Colin, Jay Smooth, Pairby, Matty Ice. All of you we see you in chat all the time. Mike saying something about Gary and the Braves, usually always in chat as well. So very familiar faces. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Hit that like button for us, please. Hit that subscribe button as always. But I say we dive right into it. And Gary, I got to go to you because You said keep it simple. Do not overthink pitching today. Lots of really good options up top. I mean, Garrett Cole, Corbin Burns, Shane McClanahan, Yu Darvish down there. I mean, there are so many good spots. I want you to touch on Garrett Cole at 10.5. I'm going to say 8K and above too, because Yu Darvish, you look at that price tag at 8.1K, significant savings from the top guys. So talk about 8-1 Darvish to Garrett Cole up top.
Yeah, so Garrett Cole, I mean, he's 10.5, highest price guy on the slate. I think he's number 3 or the third highest price guy on FanDuel, and I think he's probably a stone lock for me on FanDuel at that price tag over there. But even on DraftKings, he's got an 8.5 strikeout prop I'm seeing on the slate, which is higher, the highest one on the slate. And Shane McClanahan, who's also been really good this season, 10.3. His K prop that I'm seeing is 6.5, so it's two strikeouts less than Garrett Cole there. So definitely prefer Cole over the 2. And Corbin Burns, also a great option versus a red hot St. Louis team that's just been smashing the ball, especially Paul Goldschmidt. But he has a 7.5 K prop here, which is the second highest on the slate, and he's the third, the third highest priced guy. So I think I ranked these top 3: Cole, Burns, McClanahan. But I mean, you can't go wrong with any of these guys. Shane McClanahan is arguably one of the best top 3 pitchers in baseball this season. He's just been incredible. Even versus the Yankees here, I'm not really worried about him in this matchup. And going down a little bit, Max Fried, I'm seeing a little bit of ownership on him, which is a little bit shocking to me. I didn't think he was going to pull that much ownership with all these guys up top. But I mean, even him, I mean, he's been really good this season. I mean, he's quality start after quality start. Yes, his strikeout rate's down a little bit from the rest of these guys. His strikeout prop's only 5.5. So definitely, I do have a little bit of interest in him and just like a 150 set, but definitely not a main lineup guy for me. And then the only other guy I have interest in is obviously Yu Darvish. His K prop 6.5, which is up there with Shane McClanahan, who's 2K more expensive than him. He's just been really good this season. I think Yu Darvish has 9 quality starts in his 12 starts this season. So yeah, definitely like Yu Darvish a ton. So Yu Darvish Cole pairing is probably going to be the chalk pairing of the slate, I would assume. But I mean, it's hard for me to get away from that. But you can always sub in a Burns or McClanahan, or even play two of the top 3 guys. Definitely don't mind that. We do have some very cheap bats and some good spots here. So yeah, so I rank them: Garrett Cole, Darvish, Burns, McClanahan.
I like it. I got a question for you quick, just a general MLB question. I'm going to go to AP and think about it too. So Shane McClanahan, you look at his last start on the 15th, it was against these Yankees. You also look at it 3 starts ago before that, it was also against the Yankees. He's had pretty good outings, 25, 22 DK points, but it's going to be his third start against the Yankees in 6 appearances. How do you judge that? Do you give the advantage to the pitcher since he's seen it? Do you give the advantage to the hitter since he's seen him a lot? How do you look at that? Do you weigh it at all? I think that's a pretty interesting talking point because you do look at Vegas, 6.5 strikeout prop, juice on the over, one of the better pitchers. He's been one of the best pitchers all year, but got to favor someone, you think. How do you break that down?
Yeah, I mean, I don't take it into consideration that much with these top guys. Maybe more for the lower end guys that don't have as good a stuff as these guys. I mean, these guys can just dominate whatever lineup they're facing on any given night. And I mean, these top tier pitchers, like I said, I mean, I trust their stuff a lot more than the number 3, number 4 starters in the lineup. So.
Yeah, good answer. AP, I'll go to you too. Before you even break down that range, do you have any advantage when you look at that? Because it's not very often. Back-to-back starts, also the Yankees. So 3 out of the 6 starts, he's seeing this Yankees team. Advantage pitcher, advantage hitter, not weighing it too much. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing to discuss. I think much like Gary said, for your more elite pitching talents, I almost think it's maybe a slight advantage for them. But as you get down to your average starting pitchers and below, I think it's a huge disadvantage. So I think it's all about, your top guys, not concerned at all. But as you go, down, I think some of these hitters can pick up on things too. Because these best pitchers, they're good for multiple reasons. It's not just because they throw nasty stuff. It's because they do their homework too. And he's coming in prime and ready. I think he's 1-1 against the Yankees, got the win at home, lost in the Bronx in his last start. I think he gets the win again tonight. So, I mean, it's interesting debate though, for sure.
Yeah, I like it. I always have lean advantage hitters just because you've seen them multiple times. But like you're saying, we're talking one of the best pitchers in the league right now. So definitely interesting talk point. Go to you though, AP. How do you, how do you pick Cole? How do you pick McClanahan? How do you differentiate Burns? All three of them up top. You Darvish sitting there at 8-1. There's Berrios at 9K, who was just very chalky his last start. Fried. I mean, you look at this pitching, man, it is loaded. So 10-5 Cole, you Darvish to 8-1. Break down that range for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a pitching slate. And, we want a big number from our starting, on DraftKings, both of them tonight. And we have many options to pick from. Garrett Cole is definitely, you have to think he's going to be the most popular option up top. But between him, McClanahan, and then Burns, all kind of up there as far as like strikeout, their strikeout rates and everything goes. Like when I'm looking at a floor ceiling combination from a guy like that, all three of them are just, massive. Like Corbin Burns, like he's been so good against right-handed hitters. And this Cardinals lineup has a ton of them. He mowed him down last time he saw him. So maybe since this is the second time they're going to see him, maybe he gives them a little bit more trouble. But I mean, I think he struck out like 11 or 12, maybe more than that in like 7 innings. I know he almost put up 40 DK points. So I see that kind of upside in all of these guys. And I think, maybe the route to, like, I see almost the chalk build being Cole, Burns. Potentially, I guess if you want some big bats, higher price bats, you're going to need to go down there. But I see myself hanging around this top end range, McClanahan, Cole. You could definitely, I think McClanahan's going to be nice leverage off of Cole. And I think the common theme is one or the other. I think you could play both together. I think we could definitely see a little pitcher's duel here. And look, like when the Yankees implied team total is 3-4, I mean, we never see that. Never, ever, ever see it. That's Vegas giving a ton of respect to McClanahan. And he's arguably like one of the best, if not the best pitcher in baseball right now. I was looking it up, like a 1.82 ERA on the season, all while averaging like 12 Ks per 9 inning. I mean, the numbers are just absolutely sick. Both guys have decent leashes. So, I mean, very, very high on all of them. I do like what Gary had to say about Yu Darvish. And the other thing about Yu Darvish, too, where I can get on board, he's got like one of the longest leashes in baseball, too. A lot of times he's paying off that price tag because he's going 7-8 innings. I mean, if you look at his like last 8 starts, talking, just from memory, I'm pretty sure in every single one of those, he's gone at least 7 innings. So it looks like he's a guy that's rounding into form, too. The Diamondbacks, I wrote it up. I figured they're going to throw a ton of lefties at him. He's been good against lefties this year. Go look at the numbers. He's been much better against lefties than he has righties. So that doesn't concern me, at all. So I can definitely get on board with Darvish and what Gary was saying. And then it's like, man, you can, I mean, how low do you want me to go?
Darvish, 8-1, yep.
8-1, okay.
Yep.
Max Fried, he's kind of in no man's land, in my opinion. I know, Gary, you kind of talk about him in chat. I agree with one thing Gary said. He's probably going to be like very, very low owned. The problem I have with I'm a Fried guy. I like him. I think he's a very good real life pitcher. He's not afraid of pitching to contact. When he makes contact, he's a high ground ball guy. Very, very intelligent, on the mound, everything that you want in a real life pitcher. The problem is like I don't think he really cares about those strikeouts, and that's what we care about in DFS. So Burns 400 more than him. I'm like, why? I'm not going Fried when I could go Burns for 400 more, even McClanahan for a little bit more than that. So for me, Fried's going to be the last guy out, basically. Yeah, and then Berrios, man, the numbers, like he's gotten it done, but there's some concerns that I have with the numbers there. I'm not like that afraid of this White Sox lineup unless they get Timmy Anderson back today. Is it going to be his first game back, or has he been back for a little while?
He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be back tonight.
Yeah. So and then they got Jake Berger. It looks like potentially back in there too. He's been hitting it good. I mean, I'll definitely be off Berrios.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it too, weather across the country, like it's 90 in Atlanta so far. So like Max Fried and Logan Webb, you want to be throwing a pitcher when it's 90 there. Where you look at Cole and McClanahan, it's in Tampa. It's not at Yankee Stadium. We know that's a pitcher's park. You look at in Chicago, the White Sox and the Blue Jays, it's about 90 there as well. So do you want to go to Jose Barrios in that spot? I think that's how I'm looking at it. You see Burns, McClanahan, Cole, you Darvish there. Man, why go to a Barrios or a Fried or a Logan Webb in very warm weather games? So I kind of looking at it like that. Gary said, keep it simple. I agree. I think those four in the upper range, Darvish, Cole, McClanahan, and Burns are the way to go there. But man, it does not stop there when we get to the lower end of pitching. There are options we can go to. I see JT Brewer Baker has a decent projection. Look at Josh Winkowski. He's coming off a very good outing. Lance Lynn all the way down there, 5.8K. That's going to be a talking point for sure. And who was it in chat? Colin said Caleb Killian thoughts because he's there down there at 5K against these Pirates, coming off an awful start. But that was a Wrigley win game, so he was already set up for disaster there. I'll go to you, Gary. How are you breaking down this lower range? I think there's some interesting options. Do you have any interest in any of these guys? Talk about it.
So I think me personally, I think I'm just sticking above you Darvish and above tonight. I don't see any of these guys that can match, because I think at least two of these four from Darvish, Burns, McClanahan, and Cole are going to put up some monster scores, and you're going to need both of them in your lineup, I think, here. And these guys down here, they just don't have the strikeout ability, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of good offenses on this slate with some cheap bats in the lineup that I could still fit these top end guys. So I guess, I mean, I've been in chat a little bit today. Miles Mikolas is always a popular talking point. He's coming off 2 30-point games. I mean, he's fine. If you want to throw him in there, he's 7,800 on DraftKings. I definitely wouldn't play him on FanDuel at his price, but I mean, man, he just has to get really lucky with batted ball luck. He's not going to throw any strikeouts. I mean, his prop is 5.5, but I mean, it's at plus money too. So they're expecting 4 to 5 strikeouts here for him. But I mean, Milwaukee, I mean, they have been striking out a lot, top 10 in strikeouts over the last couple of weeks, and they haven't been really good with the bat at all. But like I said, I just prefer Darvish above him. And then going down, I mean, it's the same story with all these guys. Like Lance Lynn, I'm definitely not playing a Lance Lynn. I mean, he looked terrible in his first start, 10 hits to the Tigers. I don't think you can get much worse than that. And Killian, like I said, I can't do it. Like, I mean, you're sacrificing so much. I mean, you have these guys. You Darvish has a projection almost 8 points higher than him. I mean, I get the price difference and everything, but like I said, I like some cheap bats today. I'm going to stick up top. Nobody down here for me.
Yeah, there's no reason keeping that, or nothing bad about keeping that pitching pool condensed. Go over you, AP. I think some people are going to try and go down there. I mean, if you look at the top two offenses, you got the Angels, you got Boston. If you play the Angels, Mike Trout sitting there 5'6", you got to pay for him. Ohtani at 5'9". The rest of that lineup is pretty cheap, though. The other spot, Boston, that's popular. Devers 5'7", JD 5'4", Bogarts 5'1", Story 5K. Those are the main bats in those two chalk offenses that you'd want. If you want to play all of them, you just can't go a McClanahan, Cole. So is there anyone down below that you have interest in below Darvish, or you can find enough cheap bats? Because there definitely are cheap bats in good offenses, good one-offs and stuff that are cheap too. So what's your approach in this 8K and below for pitching?
Yeah, I always think about like with the SB2 option, like what's the opportunity cost of like punting? And on some slates, it makes sense. Other slates, it doesn't make sense. Like when you look at the texture of this slate, some of the best bats out there are in tough matchups. You know, the Yankees, big hitters going up against McClanahan, tough. I do think there's going to be I think he's going to give up a home run, maybe one. It's a guessing game who it could be. Could be Torres. He's been hot, Judge, whatever. But we're not paying premium price tags against that pitcher. So that kind of eliminates them. The Braves, another tough spot. It is hot there, but if you want to full stack them, which would be contrarian, you'd probably have to punt at one of the pitching options. But again, it's a tough matchup, so I don't think I'm going to get there. So it really comes down to, like what you said, you know, for people that punt with one of those options, they're going to go to the Red Sox, or they're going to stack up the Angels power guys, Taylor Ward, Mike Trout, Ohtani, maybe Jared Walsh. He's not priced that high, but if you want Trout and Ohtani in there, I mean, you're going to need some salary savings. But for me, I think it's a pitching slate. I think having two solid pitchers is going to give us a very, very high floor. And I think there's enough cheap bats on the slate to get it done. So for me, I'm Xing out everyone below Darvish pretty much. And I think I'm going to be feeling very good about that. And then one last comment on Lance Lynn, I with Gary, he not only got torched by the Tigers, he was getting lit up in AAA during his rehab start. So there's something going on there for sure. Now he gets to face the Blue Jays. Man, I mean, what a spot for them tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds like both you guys, and I agree. I mean, I don't think there's any need to go under Darvish. If I'm making 20 lineups, 150, I wouldn't mind throwing a Brewer, Baker, Winkowski. Derek made a good point in chat about Mikolas. His last start was where he had the no-hitter going, and then he threw 130 pitches, 8 2/3, of course, the last at bat. So that is a little concern. I agree with you, Derek. If you throw 130 pitches nowadays, his leash might be a little shorter, but we're going to go to both of them to rank their top three pitchers in order. But first, we got Thomas in chat that I won $400 on DK Showdown. I loved all the insight. How can I get an RPS avatar? I know a couple people in chat helped you out, but if you're in the Discord, RPS logo has its own section in Discord. You can click on that, save that image. Otherwise, if you're not a member, Google Images, you just search Run Pure Sports. You can find images there, save that, and then put it on. We always love seeing the RPS logos up top. We got Jeremy Douglas in chat, Steve Anthony, Quentin Nolan, C. Horn, Slick Derulo, Travis Duarte, Josh, all hanging out. We appreciate it. We got about 475 watching, 162 likes. 300 is the number we need going forward. So 300 likes for the plays of the day. I have no doubt you guys are going to get it done for us. So hit that like button, please. Hit that subscribe button. We always do appreciate it. AP, I'll go to you. Give me your top three pitchers in order.
Yeah, in order for me, it's going to come down to like my final build. So it's kind of tough to like rank.
So I guess I should ask, because you have those four pitchers, Darvish, McClanahan, Cole, Burns, are you going to start with offense kind of today and then fill out the pitchers after that? Or how do you approach that?
I'll probably run a few build simulations on Saber and just see kind of what they look like, Xing out a lot of the pitchers. Throwing in, it's going to be McClanahan, Cole, and Burns, probably my top three. And then I do have quite a bit, a decent amount of interest in Yu Darvish too. But I'm going to have a ton of builds where I'm just double spending up at pitcher. I think there's enough cheap bats, cheap ways to get creative with stacks on the slate to make it work.
I like it. Gary, go over to you. Give me your top three pitchers.
Yeah, so similar to AP. I mean, I'm going to be a lot higher on Darvish than he will. I think he's my number 2 guy, and I think Shane's going to be my number 4 guy. So between Garrett Cole and Burns, it's going to depend on if I need the 600 or not. But yeah, definitely it's definitely Cole, Burns, and Darvish in the top 3.
I love it for sure. Before we get to the game by game, as we always do, I want to shout out some members. First, I see Tyler Roberson in chat. We see Brittany in chat. Always see you guys in Discord. So shout out to you guys. But let's go and talk about the members never win. Always like shouting out some coordinators and members. And if you do want to be on this segment, we have a members never win section in Discord. Drop those screenshots. You have a chance to be on this. Just Your Daddy won $5,000 in MLB. Landa, $5,000 in MLB. D Jones, MB, $7,500 in MLB. Hoop, $100,000 in MLB. Dunkel, $100,000 in NASCAR. And then Big T won $167,000 in NASCAR. In addition to his little $46,000 he won on the golf course in the MMA street. So congrats to all of you winners. Let's keep it up this week. And we do have a new piece of premium content that just was released today. Hoop was on it. It's his MLB breakdown. It's called The Assist. If you go to the media alerts in Discord or you go to the Run Pure Sports section, you can find that. It's pretty much, he just broke down the slate by himself today, talked about the pitchers, talked about the hitters. There's about a 30-minute video, put it on 1.5x, takes you about 20 minutes. And we know Hoop right there. We talked about it, 100,000 in MLB, multiple big hits for him. So just another piece of video content that you can listen to, breaking down pitchers, breaking down stacks, breaking down his thoughts on the slate. So very good piece of content. Check that out. It's called The Assist. It is a premium content, though. You cannot find that for free at Run Peer Sports. If you want to find that and you're not a member, again, RPS Heater 25 gets you 25% off your first month. Let's go game by game, though. Hit that like button for us, please. Hit that subscribe. I know you guys are going to get us to 300. Let's start with the Cubs and the Pirates. Caleb Killian and JT Brewer-Baker on the mound. Man, I mean, you look at the Pirates yesterday, Gary. Are we going right back to them? Are we going to get another triple dong over here? We got O'Neal Cruz that we were talking a little about pre-show too. Outfield and shortstop eligible, making his MLB debut. Min Price at 2K. What is he? 6'7", 220. AP was saying too. So it's a little interesting Pirates lineup we got. Talk about this game for bets.
Yeah, I just can't do it. I'm going to be focusing on a couple 5-man stacks today. I mean, I guess my favorite side would be the Chicago Cubs side, but I'm seeing a little bit of ownership on them here. I mean, Contreras is always going to be popular here. Rafael Ortega is 2.2K batting third in the outfield. He had a home run yesterday. Definitely not afraid to attack Brewer-Baker here. So no Pittsburgh for me, though. Like, I can't, like, O'Neal Cruz, yeah, he's one of their top prospects. He hasn't really been that good in AAA this season, and they also brought up this other guy who I don't think I've ever heard of him, batting seventh. He's not in the DraftKings pool anyway. But yeah, I can't mess with these Pirates. Maybe Jack Sawinski. He's 2,200, outfield eligible, batting third as a one-off maybe. Other than that, I will not have any of this game.
Makes sense. AP, are you chasing Sawinski's 3-homer game yesterday? Any Pirates or Cubs for you?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to so when I think about my builds, I think I'm running 12 tonight. So a bunch of different stacks in there. I'll definitely will include a couple Pirate mini stacks with these cheap one-offs. O'Neal Cruz. I mean, I don't know much about the guy at all outside of the 6'7", a big boy, and used to hit bombs. Gary tells me he kind of sucks, and I get that. I bet he does suck, but man, 6'7" with a ton of power. If he gets the bat on the ball, maybe he goes out of the park. He's 2K. I don't need much more than that, so I'm willing to risk it. Swinsky, I mean, man, maybe he found something batting third there. Vogelbach, they got a lot of cheap power, and that's what I want today. When I'm multi-entering with the mixing and matching with these 2-stud pitching options that I'm looking at. The one thing too, so the Cubs, I do probably have more interest in them. Brewer-Baker last year specifically, so he's been better this year. But if you go back and look, he does struggle at times with hard contact and specifically fly balls. He had so many games of giving up two home runs, 3 home runs. Just go look at the box score. You'll see, I think it's 8 or 9 games of 2+ home runs given up. A couple 3, maybe 4 down games in there too. So looking at Contreras, Happ, Wisdom, some of these guys with power on the Cubs side, I think is interesting as well. As long as Ortega as well, he's 2-2. Any of these cheap guys that could fill in my mini stack, that 3-man stack that we talk about, I'm definitely going to have interest, from this game.
Yeah, that's how I have the same approach as you. Because if you want to play McClanahan, a Burns, a Cole, if you want to pair them up top, man, you come to this game, it's at 8.5 total, about 4.4 implied total for both. They're so cheap. I mean, the whole lineup on pretty much both sides, with an exception of a couple people, you can fill it out and get away. If you do want to stack a Boston, an Angels, one of these other higher priced ones, I wouldn't mind a little 2-man, a 3-man stack of one of these. I think you can do a lot worse, and it helps you get the top range pitching. So I'm not going to 5-man stack this game either, but I do think it makes for an interesting mini stack. Let's get into the next game on the slate. The New York Yankees, the Tampa Bay Rays, Garrett Cole, Shane McClanahan on the mound, 6.5 total. AP, I'll go to you. I mean, yesterday we saw Luis Severino on the mound. We didn't want to target the Blue Jays, but man, sometimes you can get very, very low ownership on elite offenses. New York, they're an elite offense, but Shane McClanahan's an elite pitcher, as we know. So can he make any case, a game theory situation, any of that, or is it just move on? That's the easy route to go.
I mean, we did okay. So let me just first say, I love both of these pitchers. Okay. But we did see recently, if you just compare the two, who has a slip up game and who doesn't? I mean, McClanahan's been strong every single game. Cole, he gave up 5 home runs to Minnesota. Now, do I expect him to do that again tonight? No, not at all. But, he has at times kind of struggled there. And we know he's a guy that can give up home runs. Now, I'm not saying I don't think I will have any of the bats here in this game at all. I'm probably completely off of it. I do see them giving up a home run or two. That's just how they are. They throw a ton of strikes right up there over the plate, and they throw with heat. And if any of these guys get the ball, the bat on the ball, it could go out of the park. That just happens with these top guys at times. But I'm siding with pitching here. But basically what I'm saying is, if you want to get cute, maybe stack up the Rays, a little 3-man targeting power. Maybe G-Man Choi. I think he has 4 or 5 home runs against Cole, or do what Big T did last slate where he had this matchup where he played Cole and G-Man together. That's going to automatically get you unique, unless he's in Big T's core, of course.
I was going to say, for the people that are not a member that just hang out here in YouTube, again, nothing wrong with that. We always love having you in Discord and being a member, but we'll say G-Man Choi, AP hinted at it. He loves himself little G-Man Choi against little Garrett Cole action. Gary, you going to go to little G-Man against Garrett Cole? Anything in this game that you can make a case for bets?
I really can't. AP summed it up pretty perfectly for me. I'm going to be very overweight on these two pitchers here. I don't want to waste a spot on G-Man. If he hits if that one bomb hurts me, it's gonna take me down tonight because I won't have any.
Big T and a couple other members might be the only ones with that one too.
One bomb's
too much.
Yeah, one bomb's not going to kill you.
Not at this.
Not at 4,500.
Yeah, he's 4,500.
Yeah, you're paying for him. Like I said, Big T and whatever other RPS logo will be the only one with G-Man Choi is how I'm looking at it. So, hey, I kind of hope Big T gets one. Again, I don't know if he's playing G-Man, but I wouldn't be surprised one bit. Before we get to the next game, let's see. 530 watching, 220 likes right now. 300 is the number we need. So just want to remind you to hit that like button, please. Hit that big red subscribe button to the bottom right too. Simon is getting up there a little bit. 9.19K subscribers right now. Last I checked, it was like 9.09. So people are getting it done. We appreciate it. Always get alerts for the videos we have. We have NASCAR shows every week, MMA shows, golf shows on the free YouTube channel. So it does not hurt to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We always appreciate it, giving you content every single day. Let's get to the next game of the slate. AP, I'll go back to you. Detroit Tigers, Boston Red Sox, Alex Faedo and Josh Winkowski on the mound. It's only 70 in Boston. It's not the 85, 90 that we see in some other spots, but Faedo guy does not look to be very good at all. Boston, the highest implied total on the slate. You get some cheap bats there. Jarren Duran, leadoff 3.4K. Verdugo, 3.5 in the 5-hole. How are you breaking down this Boston and Tigers team?
Yeah, the Tigers pitcher looks to be average, like not terrible, not good. I think just your average, pitching prospect, and he's bad, especially though against lefties. So like I see Devers being like really, really popular. I'm talking like 35% maybe. I don't know. Tyler, you're probably better ownership than me, but like
he's going to be high on for sure.
He's going to be very high on it. And then my problem with that is like, I'm sure I'll have some exposure, but I could also see myself taking a hard stand. I'm fading one bat. We see all the time the best hitters in the world can go 0 for 5. We saw Mike Trout go on a stretch for like a month where he couldn't hit the ball. So I'm not saying that's going to happen to Devers. He's a fantastic play, but in tournaments, that's going to be a really easy way to get different tonight. And so I will say I do see Boston being chalky too, but I kind of the Tiger. All right. So like I might get made fun of, for this, but all these teams have little short, especially a team like the Tigers. They got little short like runs that they can make where their offense is good, where they find something. Maybe the Tigers found something. Saturday they went off, followed it up on Sunday going off. Now they go to Fenway. They're actually hitting the ball decent. Robbie Grossman, I believe he was one of them he's hit 5 hits in his last 7 at-bats, 2 home runs. I'm definitely playing him. You could play Baez. You could play Riley Green. He's 2.11K. You could play, any of these guys. Scope, he's been kind of lost. But again, sometimes when you see other guys on your team having success hitting the ball, sometimes that, that energy, that good mojo, rubs off on people. That's why we talk about it all the time in Discord, good mojo over tilting all the time. Cause I'm telling you that good mojo, it rubs off all the time. I think we're seeing it in a very short stint with the Tigers. I think they stay motivated and I think they surprise people once again tonight. So I kind of like the Tigers here for a mini stack.
Yeah, I don't mind it. As Mike Carr said too, they're going to a hitter's park. So guaranteed the ninth inning at bats at Fenway. Very, very cheap. If you want to play the expensive pitchers, which you guys have interest in, I think you can do worse with Detroit. Before I get to Gary quick, I see Joey Work in chat. What's going on, Joey? We look at yesterday, I believe it was. Dunkel, Joey Work went 5-0 on their picks on the bet side. So if you want to check them out, absolute heater. Joey absolutely kills the MLB side for bets. Dunkel's been on fire too. So give them a shout. Run Pure Bets on the YouTube. Run Pure Bets over here. If you want to join the bet side as well, there's a promo code DFS side and bets. Get bets it is. And then, yeah, you think it's a free month over there. So shout out to you, Joey. We're keep crushing. Gary, I think this is an interesting game for bats, Boston and Detroit. Break it down.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to like the Boston bats, but man, when you look in the optimizer and you look at their ownership percentages here, it's man on an 8-game slate. I think I'm definitely going to go somewhere else for my 5-man stacks. I'll probably stick to the bottom of the order here. Verdugo's been heating up a little bit, seeing some nice ownership on him. Going down here, Franchi Cordero 3,100. I'll play these bottom of the order guys and leave the chalky guys out. But yeah, I definitely like Boston here, and I definitely like Detroit. Like AP said here, Robbie Grossman 2,300, coming off 2 really good games. Riley Green is the number 2 prospect in all of baseball, power speed combination guy, sort of like the Michael Harris guy from Atlanta. Very similar players here. 2,100 in the outfield, and then you can add in like a Spencer Torkelson, who's another top prospect in baseball, who's kind of underwhelmed this year. 2,100. I mean, man, you can get those 3 in there and get a nice 5-man stack with two high-priced pitchers, and you could be on your way to a very nice night tonight. So yeah, definitely like the Detroit side here a little bit more, and I like the bottom of the order for Boston.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, Detroit is one of the easiest teams you can stack up when it comes to position eligibility, because you look at it, Javi Baez in the 4-hole shortstop, Riley Green outfield, Candelario third base, Torkelson first, Scope second, Tucker Barnhart mid-price at catcher. You very rarely see that where right in an order you get to hit the different positions every single time, and they're almost all cheap as well. So I definitely think the Tigers are very interesting in this spot. Let's get into the next game on the slate, the San Francisco Giants, the Atlanta Braves, Logan Webb and Max Fried on the mound. It's 90 here, Gary. Of course, I got to go to you first. Logan Webb, he's a solid pitcher for sure, but this Braves lineup, top to bottom, is decent for sure. Any interest? Warm, like I said, Braves, Giants for bets?
Yeah, so I have to have interest in my Braves here. I won't be playing any San Francisco bats here. Max Fried is just a beast. He's just going to get us 6 or 7 strong innings tonight. Probably 6 or 7 strikeouts, get us the W and move on about his day. So definitely no San Francisco for me. But man, I cannot ignore Logan Webb has not really looked himself from last year. The numbers look almost identical. He's not getting as many swings and misses. He's getting a lot more contact. And man, that does not bode well for him against these Braves. I like the Braves quite a bit here, but again, the Braves, like over the last couple of weeks, the bottom of the order has been doing most of the damage, which is good for me because the bottom of the order is the guys that I like the most here. They're all cheap. Marcell Ozuna, 3,800. Adam Duvall, 3,300. Orlando Arcia has absolutely been tearing up the baseball this season. He's got like a 350 batting average. He's hit a couple home runs. He's now got that second base eligibility, which is really nice in the 8-hole. And then in the stud, Michael Harris, 3,200. Still underpriced for his talent and skill set. I'm seeing very, very low ownership on the bottom of the order Braves stack. Oh, and don't forget Travis d'Arnaud, who just double donged the other day, 4,400. So yeah, definitely love the bottom 5 through 9 here for the Braves. It's going to fit really nice with some top tier pitching tonight. But yeah, no San Francisco for me.
I mean, these boys are all hitting except Ronald Acuna, which is the craziest thing. But isn't this just the perfect spot of 2%, 3%, whatever, 5%, I say 2%. People in chat will say he'll be 6% or whatever. Anyway, a very low owned Ronald Acuna if you like the Braves. I mean, is there not a better spot to hop on, Gary?
I mean, I don't see anything at the plate wrong with him, the way he's, attacking the pitching or whatever. Yeah. He's just going through a funk right now. And he could lead off with this game with a bomb very easily. One guy I forgot to mention, Matt Olson, he's also looked a little lost at the plate, but man, I think he still leads the league in doubles hit I think he's on pace to set the franchise record, 65 doubles in the season. He's been a doubles machine. He had a couple the other day. 4,400 seems a little light for him. Yesterday, I think he was 4K or 3,700 even. So yeah, definitely like Matt Olson here, and you can never go wrong with a 1% on Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Matt Olson, he's been a little funk, but the price is down yesterday. 3 for 3, 3 doubles. I mean, he's starting to turn it around, but I mean, anytime you can get it's a 162 game season in baseball. People aren't staying hot every single game throughout the whole year. So yeah, if I'm playing the Braves, I like throwing in Ronald Acuna. But you did mention Michael Harris outfield, Duvall outfield, Ozuna outfield. It is nice Arcia is at least second base eligible now too. But man, AP, these Braves just keep getting it done. Not the easiest matchup, but Gary isn't very impressed with Logan Webb as of late. Any Braves, any Giants for you?
Yeah, and the one thing I'll add is he's been especially bad against lefties. So Matt Olson, Michael Harris, who's a stud, like Gary's been, yelling from the top of a roof all season long. But the thing is, too, like no one plays the bottom or a little wraparound. I mean, I'm not even going like the bottom of the order here is doing enough, getting it done for us. I love that stack. We're looking for cheap contrarian stacks tonight. So I love that. You can go 6 through 9 if you want, and add Matt Olson in there just for a little, playing on that narrative that Webb has struggled against lefties. And Matt, these guys, like, man, we see it all the time. The only reason like why I wouldn't play Acuna here is like these guys just go in waves. Like their production comes in these waves, and I just think he's in a funk. So for me, I have no problem waiting just to see until he gets back in that rhythm. When he does, we hop on. We saw it with Trout. We weren't playing him, when he was struggling there. Now he's starting to hit the ball good. We hop on. And I just think that's the route you go. So I think I agree 100% with Gary. The stack here is the bottom of the order for the Braves.
I hear you. My counterpoint to it is just if I know, yeah, he's in a funk a little bit for sure. But the ownership, when you see Acuna at 3%, I'll just hope I do get on at the right time because he can put up a 30 piece, his power speed combo, but yeah, he's going to be that low owned. If he hits a bomb, it's not going to ruin your night. It just, if you do have him, he has 6.1K though. So you don't want a donut at 6-1 when Michael Harris, Duvall, Ozuna are all smashing for a lot cheaper. So can go a lot of ways, but yeah, Braves aren't going to get the most ownership today. Their applied total isn't the highest, but it's 90 there. It's the hottest on this slate. So I definitely like the Braves a little bit. They just keep getting the job done. See Corey Pooler in chat. What's going on, Corey? Hope everything's going well with you. We need 44 more likes for 300. We got 4 games left to break down on this slate. And I see Simon in chat. He said, let's get 10,000 subscribers. The push to 10,000 is here. Hit that big red subscribe button for us. We always do appreciate it right after you hit that like button. St. Louis Cardinals, Milwaukee Brewers, Miles Mikolas, and Corbin Burns on the mound. Total of 8. AP, any bats for you in this game?
Yeah, so off the Cardinals, because Burns, one of my top guys, and then the Brewers, while they've been striking out a bunch and stuff, this is going to be the third time that they see him. I think being at home, they're going to throw a ton of lefties at him. I just think, man, can this guy really go third game in a row doing what he's been doing? I think it's more likely that he doesn't and that he gives up a decent number here to the Brewers versus like having another good game. So I like a little Brewers mini stack here. The guy I'm really interested in is our boy Jace Peterson, third baseman. I'm going to be looking for guys.
Not in the lineup, unfortunately.
Oh, did it come out already?
Yeah, it's out. I'll read it for you quick.
That's just bad mojo. Then we can't play the Brewers now. No Jace Peterson.
Adames, Rowdy Tellez, McCutchen, Renfroe, Narvaez, Urias, Hira, Tyrone Taylor.
Yeah, we got. I don't know. I like the bottom here too. You can go 6, 7, 8, 9. Keston Hira, a bit better against lefties, but he's cheap. There might be better cheap options, but man, he's a guy that can get it going too. So, not my favorite spot on the slate, but I do think I will include them as a potential mini stack to have, and then absolutely no Cardinals for me.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're spending up at pitchers. You look at Luis Urias, second and third base eligible under 4K. Hira, first and second eligible under 2.2K. I was on Tyrone Taylor yesterday, absolutely hurtful, but I will always go back to a little Tyrone Taylor. Gary, any Brewers or any Cardinals for you? I know you mentioned Miles a little bit, but he's coming off, as Derek said, 130 pitches man, we don't see that nowadays. So who knows what his velocity is going to be looking at and stuff. So talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the classic JT spot where JT is going to come in the chat later on tonight, and he's going to say my favorite stack of the slate is the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yep.
Just for the stuff that you just mentioned there. I mean, coming off 130 pitches, going for the complete game. I mean, I doubt he sees 80 pitches here to begin with. And then the St. Louis pen is just really not good. I don't like the Milwaukee Brewers for a 5-man stack, but I will, like AP, leave them available in the optimizer for mini stacks. Everyone here is in play for me. Omar Narvaez, 4,300 as a catcher, lefty batting from the left side against Miklas. Really like him. He's probably would be my favorite, as weird as it sounds. I do like Rowdy Tellez, always 3,800. So yeah, I will definitely include these guys for minis, but not my favorite, but I will have them.
Yeah. Their ownership should be kept in check too. And like you said, bad bullpen with the guy that's coming off 130 pitches. And you can stack this team, like I said, a lot of multiple players. I guess Urias in here, the only one with dual position eligibility, but you get a catcher in there with Omar Narvaez. You get Tellez in there, lefty, righty, platoon advantage. Tyrone I like. So yeah, I think the Brewers are interesting today for sure. Let's get to the next game on the slate. The Toronto Blue Jays, the Chicago White Sox. Jose Berrios and Lance Lynn on the mound. It's 90 degrees here, AP. Lance Lynn, you guys both, I have a feeling, will be all over Toronto since he hasn't looked great. Talk to me, AP. How are we sacking this Toronto team? And are we attacking Berrios at all for the White Sox?
Yeah, so Toronto, definitely one of my favorite stacks. It's hurtful. We don't have Lourdes Gurriel in there. I thought he was going to be in there. It would have made for one of the nicest, like 5 through 9 cheapest stacks out there that I really like, because our most expensive bat would have been Matt Chapman at 3.4K. It would have allowed us to get any 2 high-priced pitchers that we want, and the stack still would have looked good. I still like it, and we'll have quite a bit of it, but man, I'll probably just find one of these power guys to get in there. So I love, Tapia, Biggio, Chapman, Moreno. All of these guys, I have a ton of interest in. I'm going to mix and match them with some of the power guys, Bo Bichette, Vlad, Springer, some of those guys. So I'm going to have a ton of 5-man Blue Jay stacks. Going to be my most overweight team on the slate.
I like it. Gary, I have a feeling you might be saying something very similar. Talk about the Blue Jays and any White Sox for you.
Yeah, I mean, this spot is clearly the best on the slate for me. I mean, I'm going to have a ton of Toronto stacks in my 150 set tonight. Overweight on all of these guys. Definitely like the bottom of the lineup. I don't think you have to get too different here, because I don't think Toronto's going to get steamed that much here. But I mean, the bottom of the order guys are the ones that have been hitting recently anyway. Like AP mentioned, we're very, very hurtful that Lourdes Gurriel and Alejandro Kirk are both not in the lineup. They have been their 2 best hitters versus right-handed pitching since the first of the month.
Isn't this Moreno dude that's supposed to be a pretty good prospect?
Yeah, he's one of their top prospects too. I like the savings. I mean, you're saving 2K with him.
Yeah.
He might be in every lineup I make tonight, Gabriel Moreno, just for the savings. I mean, we're paying up for these pitchers, and this is an automatic, almost min-price guy it's got power, got some speed, and can hit some bombs with relative ease here. So definitely going to be overweight on him. I do like, Teoscar Hernandez. He might be the hottest hitter on the planet right now outside of Mike Trout, who just, he had the cheat code in Seattle, so that was his excuse. But Teoscar has just been hitting bombs lately, 3 home runs in his last 5 games, double-digit fantasy points in like 6 of the last 9. I think he continues that tonight. Raimel Tapia, 2,600, batting from the left side here. He's been like their 3rd or 4th best hitter against right-handed pitching over the last few weeks. Love him. Love the lineup top to bottom. And I think I will have a little bit of White Sox mini stacks in my set as well. Berrios, man, he's just had some really nice matchups over his last 3. You look at it, Baltimore, Detroit, Minnesota. Minnesota revenge spot 38, 26, 23. Then you look at some of the underlying stuff, and man, he's just been getting hit really hard. 91 mile an hour exit velocity allowed. highest barrel rate on the slate allowed, high hard hit percentage allowed, 5.54 expected ERA. Timmy Anderson is back in the lineup tonight for the White Sox. Jake Berger, 3,300. He has been hitting the ball really well. Those two are probably my favorite, but I will have some minis, and Toronto is definitely my favorite stack on the slate.
Yeah, I like it. We don't have this White Sox lineup either, but it looks like there should be a lot of cheap bats in the bottom of the order too that you can get to. The one that stands out to me, Jake Berger, since he is third base eligible, if he is in there, gets you different from Devers right away, and he's definitely been swinging a hot stick. So definitely a good game, and it doesn't hurt that it's 90 degrees in Chicago as well. So I definitely like that. Let's see, we got 2 games left, 280 likes, 20 more likes for 300. So we get you the plays of the day. 2 games left, stacks. I know you guys are going to get it done for us. We appreciate it. That big red subscribe button too. Do not forget about that. Kansas City Royals, Los Angeles Angels, Chris Bubic and Noah Syndergaard on the mound. Gary referenced the hottest hitter in baseball. Man, it has to be Mike Trout. What an absolute missile he hit out to center field too. In Seattle, home run, no home run, double dong, all in Seattle. This dude is back, man. What a sweet swing he has. My favorite player to watch for sure. Just absolutely insane. But he's going to be very, very popular today since Chris Bubic, arguably the worst pitcher on the slate, he gets the platoon advantage. So AP, what are we doing with Mike Trout? He's as hot as it comes, but it is baseball, and he's going to be probably the most owner. He has the most ownership when it comes to the hitters on this slate. So do we get different there? Do we eat it? I think Ohtani makes a lot of sense. He's going to be a lot lower owned. Bubic's not good against lefties or righties. Taylor Ward there, 3.9K, cooled off for sure, but the price has come down. Talk about this this Angels team, and I assume no Royals for you, but you're the experts to talk about it.
I mean, the Royals are a disaster. But Syndergaard hasn't been good. He's been pretty lucky. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to fade Mike Trout with how he's hitting. So with the Angels, I like them as like a power mini stack. And I definitely, if I'm playing Trout, I want to play Ohtani too. The one thing Bubic, like, man, he sucks versus lefties, and people hate to play that lefty matchup. But I'm telling you, he gets hit hard by lefties, and they result, high result in fly balls. And so I think it's a good spot for Ohtani to get right. But man, if you play him and Trout together, we'll see if you can make it work with 2 high-priced pitchers and then go to a really cheap stack like we talked about. Detroit, those Pirates guys we talked about, bottom of the order of the Braves, bottom of the order of the Blue Jays. I think just, from eyeballing it, you're going to be able to make it work. I think it's a really interesting route on this slate. So for me, I'm eating a lot of this chalk here. Is Mike Trout going to be in all my builds? Probably not, because I stack and I like to stack up different spots. But I'm definitely going to have some good exposure to him. I'm going to have good exposure to Shohei Ohtani too. And then it's probably Ward or Walsh for me. I want to see what the lineup looks like. It's not out yet, is it, Title?
No, it's not out yet.
And then no, like Syndergaard hasn't been good, but he just gets it done. I think Gary was talking. I'd almost rather play him than play any of these Royals guys. So I'm not playing the Royals.
Yeah. So if you look at it, I plugged it in. If you plug in Garrett Cole, Corbin Burns, Ohtani, and Mike Trout, you're left with 3,000 pretty much for the rest of your spots. There is enough cheap bats on the slate. You look at almost every position. Yeah. There's cheapies for sure. So you can make it work. It'll be a little tough, but like you said, Tigers, Pirates, there's a lower on the Blue Jays, bottom of the order. You can make it work. And I will say though, Trout definitely going to be one of the most popular. Ohtani's going to get some ownership too at the end of the day, since people are going to maybe go Burns down to Darvish and get the savings there, so they have a little more money for bats. If you start with those 4, Cole Burns or Cole McClanahan, 2 of the 3, Ohtani, Trout, I think it's a little different since it doesn't feel very, very comfortable to do that. So Gary, Mike Trout, how do you say no? But it is ownership. There is game theory involved. Talk about the rest of the Angels and any Royals for you.
Yeah. So, it's tough, right? Mike Trout's coming off massive performances all weekend long in Seattle. I think he needs to be inducted into the Seattle Stadium Hall of Fame or something, because I think he's hit the most bombs there than any opposing stadium he's ever played in.
That's crazy, since it's not even like it's a hitter's park.
It's not a hitter's park. He just destroys there. But man, I'm just I looked at the hand in this chart that I updated this morning. I looked at some individual data over the last month. And man, these Angels just have not been hitting left-handed pitching. I'm not going to go there today. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of ownership even outside of Mike Trout. I'm seeing some ownership on Ward, Rengifo, Walsh, Duffy, Matt Duffy, 25. Like, I cannot play these guys when they're going to be chalky. I understand Bubik probably has the worst numbers I've ever seen, worst underlying stuff that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's really bad. But I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm not going to be paying up for Mike Trout tonight. If it burns me, it burns me. I do have interest in the Royals here. I know in my free article today, I did write up, I did mention Noah Syndergaard. I like the price tag specifically on Syndergaard. It's the lowest we've seen on him all year. I just think he has more talent than that price tag he has on DraftKings. But man, he gives up stolen bases like there's no tomorrow. And this team likes to run. Whit Merrifield, Bobby Witt, all these guys. I like them as a mini stack, not as a full 5-man, but I will have some Kansas City Royals in my pool available for mini stacks tonight. But I'm going to be fading the Angels.
I was going to mention it because, Kevin Barnett brought up the same thing. I overlooked it a little bit. Anytime I see Syndergaard, I should just look at stolen bases. They run a ton. Yeah, Kevin Barnett said you steal against Syndergaard, and KC does just that. They run as much as any team. So Witt for sure. You said Bobby Witt. Michael A. Taylor's got some speed down there. Who would be the guys you are targeting? Because a single turns into a double in DFS. We know how much steals can matter. It is a nut spot when it comes to that. So I overlooked it a little bit for sure. Barnett brought it up. I'm glad you brought it up. Who would be some of the guys that they get on? They are going to run on Syndergaard, would you say?
I mean, it's Bobby Witt. It's Bobby Witt Jr. It's Whit Merrifield, Andrew Benintendi, Michael A. Taylor will sometimes. Even Kyle Isbell will run a little bit too. So, I mean, Noah Syndergaard, I mean, it's just, he doesn't care. You're going to get on base. You can get second. Just here you go. He's just going to show you the way. So definitely like him here. And go ahead.
I was going to say, can I bring up one point?
Yeah,
go ahead.
To think
They're
about.
not going to get on base. Is that what you're going to say?
To get a stolen base, you got to get on base.
So then you got to play Syndergaard then, right? If they ain't getting on base, he's going to throw a gem.
I mean, I do like Syndergaard a little bit. I didn't mention him in the pitcher breakdown, but just because I like the top range so much. But he would probably be my favorite cheap guy if I were to play him.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I do like the Bobby Witt call. The problem is, man, he's 5'3", but man, he he's a stud. So, and he can run, he can absolutely fly. So, interesting spot for sure.
Yeah, I would, if I'm playing, I'd probably go Witt, Benintendi, Bobby Witt.
The problem, look at these prices though. Like, why are they like Bobby Witt 5'3"? Like,
but they're going to be
4.8, but 2%? I mean, Salvy's not having that great of a year.
At least you get the ownership on your side, 2% owned. It is 83 wins blowing out a little. Gary's talking to me, and Kevin Barnett too. I got to give him props.
Tito, you're not playing the Royals. Zero chance. Zero chance. Tito plays.
Zero chance. Now you're talking.
We can almost.
We'll see.
We'll almost guarantee you, DC is going to be creaming all over the Royals in the.
He might be.
Show.
Yeah, he's gonna talk. And man, you guys are gonna talk me into it too.
I mean,
people are gonna be throwing out the GIF and everything, and I'm in trouble.
I mean, just the stolen base, and you look, it's 83.
Syndergaard does suck too.
It looks like wins are blowing out a little. I don't know. We spent enough of time talking about the Royals. 5-man stack, I probably would not go there, but man, like a single or a walk turns into you're on second base against Syndergaard, and they like to run more than anyone. At least you know they're going to get the green light. So, man, it's interesting. That's all I'm going to say. We got one game left on the slate. Let's see. Likes, you guys already smashed it. 310. We appreciate it. If you haven't hit it and you want to hit it, we appreciate it. That big red subscribe button as well. But last game on the slate, then talking stacks. Then we're going to get to the plays of the day and get on out of here for the premium show to see, is DC on the Royals? Who is he on? What pitching stuff does he like? D-backs, Arizona Diamondbacks, San Diego Padres, Zach Davies, and Yu Darvish on the mound. Gary, I assume no D-backs against Darvish for you, but any Padres against Zach Davies? Or because they are coming out of Coors, that it's one of the first games back again, are you like JT where you just don't target that spot?
Yeah, it's really tough for me to target. I mean, I normally sit that spot out as well. Even more so, they lost Manny Machado yesterday, sprained his ankle. It's going to be out.
Was there a timetable on that? Because it didn't look great.
I think it just said, they had a, ankle sprain and the x-rays were negative. So probably a 10-day IL stint. That's what I would assume. I don't think I've seen anything official on it. But, yeah, anytime you lose your best hitter out of your lineup and you're coming out of Coors, I'm not going to really have any interest here. So definitely this is just going to be a throwaway game for me.
I mean, they're not only coming out of Coors. Right before that, too, was the Chicago win series where pretty much every game was that. So, yeah, it's definitely
and they're all priced up. I mean, Jake Cronenworth, $6K. I mean, I can't do that.
Yeah, no, I think this is pretty easy stay away game as well. AP, you agree?
Yeah, the one thing too, some with Darvish, man, he's so hard to stack again. So I probably won't, but there's just a few things there in the numbers where it seems like, man, some of the results he's been getting, a little bit lucky, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we want to attack the guy. Maybe he's just getting it done with mirrors and whatever, but I don't know. I mean, some of these guys are cheap. Like this Buddy Kennedy guy, prospect guy, hit a grand slam the other day. Maybe he has the mojo going for him. The only problem though is Darvish just doesn't give up a lot of home runs. So I'm probably going to be off this game. Keep it real simple tonight. Haven't really been playing a ton of the Diamondbacks, except Christian Walker's been hitting really well, mainly against lefties. But man, the dude is dialed in right now. Probably will be unowned, so I might give him a look. Maybe throw a David Peralta, Buddy, and Walker in there. Really cheap little mini stack. I mean, man, 2K really, tough to kill you there. But maybe just a couple builds for me, and then I'm off the Padres completely.
There's a couple people in chat mentioned the Peralta name. I am not going to get to this game at all, but hey, you want to throw one off, he's going to be low owned. Not going to say no to that. Before we get into the stacks, Gary, Uzi had a quick question. Fried or Barrios, if you had to pick one?
Oh, it's definitely Fried.
Definitely Fried. There you have it. AP, give me your top 3 stacks on this slate. If they're all, they're not only two really chalky stacks. So one of them has to be contrarian. That should be easy on this slate.
Yeah, one is definitely the Blue Jays. Now I'm going to say the Tigers. Good mojo flowing for them. And then I'm going to say the Braves against Logan Webb.
I like it. Gary, same question. Top 3 stacks.
Toronto, Atlanta, and then I'm going to say Kansas City.
I like it for sure. Let's get into the plays of the day. Since you guys smashed that like button, I'll go to myself first with the SO play of the day. He's going to be very, very low owned. I like it as a little mini stack maybe. The lineup isn't out yet, but mentioned earlier, Jake Berger. Gary's saying how Jose Barrios' numbers aren't great. It's 90 degrees in Chicago. He is third base eligible. Devers is going to eat up a ton of the ownership there. Swinging a hot stick too, and he's cheap at 3.3K. So give me Jake Berger as the SO play of the day. Go to you, Gary, the groundhog play of the day. Who do you got for us?
So I think I got to go to Toronto, my favorite stack of the slate. I wish our boy, I think AP and I would have been fighting over Lourdes Gurriel for our play of the day. Unfortunately, he did not make the lineup. I'm going to say this guy is going to continue his hot streak. Oscar the Grouch, Teoscar Hernandez is going to hit another bomb tonight as the groundhog play of the day.
Teoscar Hernandez, I like it. AP, the gentleman's call of the day. Cap it off for us.
Yeah, I got to go Michael Harris, man. The thing about Webb, while it's been kind of an up and down, I know he has good stuff, been up and down like we talked about, but it's really struggling against lefties. And Michael Harris, Gary's been preaching it over and over again. This dude is really coming alive right now. Bottom of the order, no one's going to play him. 3-2, batting 9th. No one's going to play him. And I think he's just another double-digit day for him down there at 1 to 2% ownership max.
I like it. Michael Harris, Teoscar Hernandez, Jake Berger, the 3 plays of the day. That is all 8 games. I see Butto Jenkins. What about playing Darvish? We touched on Darvish plenty in the opener. You can rewind, touch on the pitchers, touch on game by game as always. Can put it on 1.5x speed. We appreciate all of you hanging out with us. Love seeing the same faces, some new faces as well. Dupe, Sikolamis, Kevin Barnett, Brian M. I see you sometimes. Jeff Coley, what's going on? Always cool seeing you guys. You guys make this show a lot of fun in chat. Hit that like button on the way out, please. Hit that subscribe. If you want to check out the premium show, see who DC's on. RPS Heater 25 gets you 25% off. Make sure you get in the Discord too. It's always a great time. Hit that red subscribe on the way out. Like I said, Simon wants those 10,000 subscribers. We'll see you tomorrow, same time as always. That's going to do it for us, though. For Gary, AP, Simon Behind the Sticks, I'm Titletown. Good luck, everybody.